All right, everybody. Hello and welcome back.
No slate this time.
Yeah, we haven't done a slate in a little bit, mainly because we've only been going out of one interface. Yeah, man, that made me kind of like nostalgic.
It felt a little weird.
You know? It's real quiet.
Yeah.
But yeah, no Mason today, unfortunately.
So sad.
Hope he's doing well. He's doing super cool stuff in LA.
Yeah, man, he's doing the thing.
Yeah. Road to the Oscars.
Yeah, it's kind of, he's on that road. He started the journey.
Oscars 2033. Yeah. Mark your calendars.
Yeah. Be prepared.
Supervising sound editing.
The sweep.
Or re-record mix. I don't know. I mean, like he'll probably.
It's going to be something.
Dialogue editing, what have you.
Did they even do that? Like, because it used to be they'd have like a few different categories for sound, but now it's just kind of like best sound.
Point is, there's going to be a lot of different awards in his like bathrooms and stuff. You go into his guest bedroom and there's a Grammy on the bookshelf, an Oscar on the bookshelf, and just
paperweight.
Because he has his trophy case is already too full, so he's just got to start using it for miscellaneous things.
Yeah.
But yeah, meanwhile, we're here in college land,
Still being little
kicking
kids.
rocks. Yeah.
Kicking rocks.
But yeah, we are here today to talk about a film that we saw
a few weeks ago.
I'll just say a few. Yeah. Sing Sing.
Yeah.
I saw a trailer about it during the summer. Piqued my interest. I thought it looked really good. So
yeah, I think I saw the trailer before. I saw Longlegs, I think.
Yeah, so it was something A24 at Belcourt, and I was like, ooh. And we both wanted to see it, so we saw it, and I'm pleased to report that we had a great time. It
was really phenomenal. Just talking to Ethan before we started recording, and it was like, I think a lot of people could probably say that 2024, at least up until this moment, is definitely not as good as 2023. The end of the year will tell, because a lot of the best stuff often comes out during the fall. So
still waiting on those Marvel drops.
Yeah. And so I was, most of the stuff I've seen this year was good, but I was ready for a big one, and I think this sort of really knocked it out of the park for me, especially because I'd heard people talk about Coleman Domingo. And I didn't know his game.
I wasn't previously Coleman Domingo pilled.
Yeah.
Post Sing Sing.
What did Shaq say? He's like, I'm sorry, I was unfamiliar with your game, and he got it. So.
No, he was fantastic in this film. I mean the Shakespeare bits. I don't want to say self-indulgent, but like. They were definitely like dramatic flourishes where like this is Coleman just showing off his chops. I don't want to peg Oscar baity on this because I don't think it is. I think it's well intentioned, but you could clearly see, okay, like, all right, Coleman, we see like you made your case very well that he is excellent at what he does.
Well, the thing with
it was just a joy to watch.
The thing with Oscar bait movies is that they don't have good writing.
No,
usually
no.
There's always something amuck, and I feel like if A24 really wanted to win some Oscars, they'd pump the money into this movie to kind of get it out, because as far as I know, not a lot of people saw this movie. A24 does this weird thing where they
promote some movies so hard.
They either go hard in the paint or they like don't talk about it at all. Like there's a movie coming out, I'm pretty sure like it's either this weekend or next weekend. The guy with the face from Under the Skin, he's in a new movie, and he's in a new movie that's coming out by A24, and I didn't know it existed until this week.
Is it look good?
Apparently, it's amazing. But no, like they just they haven't been promoting it.
And folks, if you're going to see a film, like please go see this one. There's a bunch of movies just being made by like huge production companies, and
if you
kind of
can.
mindlessly spitting stuff out, but this is the core of this film is really awesome and
authentic.
Authentic, and the backstory is pretty incredible. One of the coolest things about the production of Sing Sing, firstly, a lot of the actors in the credits are billed as themselves, like playing themselves, which is awesome. A lot of them were formerly incarcerated, and the film depicts a program that's real. It's called Rehabilitation Through the Arts, and it's focused. Its goal is getting incarcerated folks involved in. I mean, it's what it sounds like, getting them involved in the arts, and it's really a beautiful thing. Both the film and I think. Well, let me check just to make sure this is correct, but I think RTA was in some way partnered with Sing Sing. Yeah, based on RTA's theater program, Sing Sing is a powerful portrayal of the life-changing impact of RTA. Join our movement.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, it's focused on bringing or providing inmates more of a connection with their humanity, because the criminal justice system does so many things to try and dehumanize and streamline life to make you feel like
that you are who you are at your worst. Like
you are your worst mistake, and
yes.
I think also just like it strips you of individuality the way that
for you can just you already know. I think what's so brilliant about them using real people is like this isn't like a fabricated story or anything. Like it's real. This is the arc that these same people like went through, and like in the case of I think his name's Mike, who's sort of the foil to Coleman Domingo's character in the movie, who Coleman Domingo's been in jail for a very long time, and this guy, he is sort of just doing it just because he has nothing else to do. I think just he's like kind of checking it out, and they almost sort of flip flop from where Mike thinks he's going to be stuck in jail for forever. He's able to find himself again.
I think Mike is the guy who has a heart attack. Clarence is the foil, if I remember correctly.
Clarence, okay,
yeah.
Clarence,
he's the guy that like is talking about like King Lear and stuff when they're out in the yard.
Yes.
And
yeah. Clarence. Sorry, it's been a few weeks since we've seen it. But yeah, Clarence. That's like him, and
that's his name, like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's him. Him just playing himself, and him and Coleman Domingo, they like almost like flip sides by halfway through the movie, where he's looking down on the program and just like doing it just because he has to, but then realizes like the happiness and joy that he's able to derive from the art form, and able to be himself again. And while Coleman Domingo sort of thinks that he may be stuck forever and that it may just be useless, but you can already sort of imagine the arc.
I don't know exactly if like Coleman Domingo's character sort of takes a turn. Is it after his parole is denied, or is it something else?
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay,
yes.
Yeah, but
it doesn't. But just like that kind of breakdown that he has.
The amazing thing about this is that like Clarence, is it Macklin or McClin? I'm not sure. How his last name is pronounced, but he was phenomenal. He was so like
he's amazing.
I would love to see him in some conversations for like end of the year awards, just because his what he brought to the table was incredible, and he really rounded out the film. And you could certainly feel that the budget felt smaller, and that they were like, it was a pretty small scale deal, but like
they really make up for it in terms of just like really beautiful, simple cinematography,
and the personnel involved are just great. Everybody,
it's a really tight production, and like you don't really even, to me, it just didn't even feel like, it didn't feel like a movie in a good way. it just felt super grounded and down to earth and real. That's because it is, and I think that's why it works so well.
In a way, it felt, or the feeling that it gave me reminded me of maybe like watching a Pixar film, or like a Greta Gerwig, or like early stage Taika Waititi, where it's just like you feel good when you're watching it. You're like, this is like, it's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
And like you're just seeing the good of people,
Yeah, for
being
sure.
depicted in the film, and people connecting with themselves and others through theater and art. And in an environment where they're dealing with a lot of difficulty and hardship, and
it's just like the emotion and like the community in the movie is just so palpable that it's hard not to feel like getting infected by it, if that's the correct word. But
I wanted to do a quick shout out to there's a phenomenal scene when each of the members of the RTA program are auditioning for the upcoming production. And so they're doing their own monologues, and the way that it's edited is that it's essentially turned into a montage.
Yeah.
And specifically during that scene, let me get this real quick. Come on.
We can cut it?
this. Yeah, we'll cut it. No worries. But like, it's not being credited on. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. Yeah. Got it.
Wait, what the heck?
Specifically during the montage scene, the cue that was playing was just really beautiful, and so I
Yes.
wanted to shout out Bryce Desner, who
Oh my
was the
gosh,
composer.
yeah.
The
Great
score was really fantastic, and,
Yeah.
and brought a lot of life and beauty into
He also
the
did
world.
He also did the score for Come On, which was another A24.
Is that the one with Matt Mickelson?
Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of
It's the one with Joaquin Phoenix and the little kid, like going on a road trip type thing.
is that the one in black and white?
Yes.
Oh, okay. He also did
kinda-
The Revenant, and
No, he did. Well, he did. The Revenant is Ryuichi Sakamoto.
he's credited on it.
Oh,
Or I guess the motion picture soundtrack.
maybe there's a song
oh,
of his
the-
in there. Maybe.
No, yeah, he's got a song in there. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
No. You're completely correct.
It's Ryuichi Sakamoto. He won the GOATs. I remember his score in that movie is really good. But
Is that
Yeah.
who Thundercat was like friends with and made this song for?
yeah, Ryuichi Sakamoto.
'Cause he's got like the 6-minute track.
Yeah, Thousand Knives.
Yeah.
That's a Thundercat cover of Ryuichi Sakamoto's song of the same name. If Ryuichi Sakamoto didn't exist, there wouldn't be Thundercat or Flying Lotus. He was basically doing
That's so cool.
He was basically doing what they were doing back in the 80s or like late 70s. So he kind of started out in like electronic experimental music that pulled from a lot of places, and then he just like he's done a lot of classical music. Like he scored a lot of movies. He's got a really, really fantastic classical album. And
He did Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence.
Yes,
Man,
that's his piece.
yeah,
And
fantastic.
he also like has done some ambient music and stuff. Yeah, he was a giant in.
I'm gonna have to run his stuff up.
He was a giant in film music and just music in general. He's one of those guys where you may not really know him off the top of
You've
your
heard
head,
something
but
he's
like
done, though.
yeah, his influence,
His reach, that's crazy.
his reach is insane. So he died last year. So R.I.P.
R.I.P. And shout out Bryce Desner. But yeah,
Bryce Desner's score is amazing, and
it's really nice because like I think that the current landscape of film music is a lot of it is predicated on like just ambient noise, soundscapes, and staying out of the way.
right.
And you don't get a lot of acoustic instruments anymore. And this, I think the particular cue is using like some sort of string chamber group.
Yes.
It was just so nice.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it was really beautiful. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. This is a bit of a weird comparison, but just what kind of came to mind recently, Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that the music is like too overbearing, but for me, it was like, I couldn't have asked for more.
Mm-hmm.
It was everything I wanted in that sense, because I feel like I don't really get stuff like big flourishes of sound and instrumentation like that as much anymore. So shout out Bryce Desner for doing the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. What other points do you want to hit on about the film?
It looks fantastic.
Yes.
I think I already mentioned that, and just it's really like straightforward and almost like heart crushing commentary about incarceration in America, and this is
the prison industrial complex is like a whole,
as a whole, and what it does to people. But at the same time, there's something really beautiful going on with this program, and there's very real and interesting stories that are coming out of it. And so, just if it really strikes the empathetic side of the human soul, and it's really touching. And even if for whatever reason you don't find the real life story interesting, I feel like what's great about it is that the story itself is strong enough, is like still really good, even without thinking about a lot of the subtext going on.
Completely. And I think one thing that struck me was when Coleman Domingo's character is helping Clarence has to like write a letter for his parole, or I guess, granted, it is a film, so possibly something could be embellished or fictionalized, but in this case, I really doubt it. I was like surprised at the lengths that inmates have to go to just to
even for them to
apply
even
for parole.
consider
they have to,
it.
Write letters. They have to. There is so many like roadblocks put in place to. There is so much like, roadblocks and just static friction and barriers in their way to keeping them from just
to keep them in.
Yeah, to keep them in and just from like doing normal life things. It's just hard. Like, I think there's, and I don't want to like misinform people here, but even in Tennessee, like the process of incarcerated people like registering to vote again, because some states you can't register if you've been if you're convicted of a felony. I don't think you can vote, but I think for Tennessee you can. But there's this long, like, arduous process with multiple steps and hoops to jump through. And like they make it very difficult for you to be able to exercise your civil liberty of voting. And so just, I don't know. I think continually when I was watching, I was like, man, there's like a lot of things in place to, remove the rights of incarcerated people. And so it was pretty eye-opening just watching that. And even though that's not what the film is centered, well, I do think that actually is a part of what the film is centered around. It's about, what's taken from the inmates, but, what the program
is bringing back
provides.
To them.
So, but that was like, I found that to be very interesting and sad too, but frustrating. So, I don't know. This might be a shorter episode.
Might be. I mean,
that's okay. But
it's a bit of a short movie.
Yeah,
but
it's pretty straightforward.
It's very straightforward.
It's not reinventing the wheel or anything. It is. I don't want to say predictable, but like it's
telling a very real story that is very beautiful and very well made.
There's no twists, no turns, really. I mean, the characters have an arc, but it's. I think the value in the film is that it's sourced from people who lived it. And it's giving them a platform, and it's telling an important story and it does a really really nice job of it, and it's a really touching watch.
Yep, for sure.
And the performances are super strong.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything else that we did hit.
Go watch it if you can.
Yeah, and check out Rehabilitation Through the Arts. We might drop a link like in
the description.
In the description for you to go check out what it is.
Yeah.
There's like donation tabs and stuff, but yeah. I'm a big fan of Sing Sing and what it's doing.
What it does and what it represents.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Beautiful.
So, what do we got down the pipeline?
So, yeah, we saw Sing Sing at the Bell Court, and shortly after we saw Sing Sing at the Bell Court, we saw the Boogie Nights in 35mm. We will be doing an episode on that soon. We got Heath coming back for that one, so that's coming down soon. Boogie Nights. We're talking about doing some Sean Baker stuff.
Yep. Anora prep.
We're definitely doing Anora. Maybe a couple of his other movies we will see. I'm going to touch on some Vin Vendors, maybe run up some Paris, Texas coming up soon. And I was going to suggest this, maybe some Days of Heaven, Terrence Malick.
Ooh.
So,
have you seen that yet?
I want to.
Okay.
So I thought about that a few days ago. I was like, I really need to watch that. So it's a good way
Looks great.
It's a good way to get Mason back on. So
yeah.
So
We'll definitely
Boogie Nights, the Sean Baker extravaganza, with Vin Vendors, Terrence Malick, and I want to. In terms of like new stuff, there was a trailer that we saw before Boogie Nights. I don't remember the exact name of it, but it's the one with Margaret Qualley.
Oh,
it was like
yeah.
the crazy one about the model.
Yeah,
that movie I think premiered at Venice like a couple weeks ago, and everybody's saying it's like one of the best movies of the year. And it looked really good. So maybe we'll do an episode on that. I'm not sure. So and the
dudes
red
behind us.
Yeah. And we're going to do the Red Shoes.
We are going to do the Red Shoes. And I was maybe over the Garden Wall.
Yep. Spooky season coming up. Coraline, Over the Garden Wall. We're going to do a couple animation stuff. Yeah. So yeah,
a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline.
Yeah. So
also, I feel obligated to say this because of our experience at Belcourt during
Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights.
Don't talk during a movie.
Yeah.
And not everything is meant to be funny.
Yes.
Pay attention. There were people laughing during Boogie Nights. I was like, I don't think that's funny, but whatever.
And if you come with a crew of 12 people to a theater and take up an entire row, please know that,
they were like
the social practices of a theater still apply.
They were like talking to like back and forth, like people.
It was awful.
Would be like five people. There'd be like five people apart, and they would like lean over and like basically be yelling at each other and stuff. So that was kind of crazy.
So don't do that.
But very excited for that episode. Very excited for a lot of episodes. Sounds like we got a lot. So
yeah. Oh, and we did do another draft soon because y'all seem to like it. Yeah. Please leave 5 stars. Please follow us on Instagram.
Leave a new comment.
Yeah, new comment. Tell us your favorite. I don't know. Tell us what you had for breakfast. Just say something.
Just say
it's like an echo chamber. It's just us talking and
say something down there, bro.
Let's make this parasocial relationship more normal.
Yeah. Give us 5 stars. Give us some money.
Patreon?
Yeah. Maybe a fresh face Patreon dropping soon.
The fresh faced paycheck.
Yeah. We need it for reasons.
Yeah.
Hey
man, listen. I support artists on Patreon. I have a few that I follow, and I think it's a good thing to go like direct, supporting artists directly, not going through a different medium. But I mean, Patreon does take some of the money, but I do support like that as a philosophy. So
yeah.
If that is a thing down the road, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Could be. Never know.
We have like 60 Instagram followers, so we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Maybe, hey, for 100 followers, we'll get...
drop that Patreon.
Patreon dropping with 100. Yeah.
Subscriptions starting at $20 a month.
Yes. With that one, you get a...
You get a shout out.
You get a measly little shout out. And that's it.
Yeah.
So... And on
that
note, that was Sing Sing. It was a beautiful time. Go watch it if you can.
You got it, man.
Yeah. All right, roll that outro music.
Wow.
How long was that one?
That was like 25 minutes.
There you go.